Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm painting roses in a silver bowl today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please remember to give me a thumbs up. That helps my channel grow. Hit the subscribe button, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try and get back to you. Thank you very much for watching, and here we go. I'm using acrylic paints and my colours are titanium white, primary yellow, raw sienna, raw umber, French ultramarine blue, sap green and alizarin crimson, and I find I can mix most colours that I use. However, with acrylic paints you can buy almost any colour pre-mixed, so you can be more adventurous if you like. You have to experiment a little bit. The first thing I'm going to do is paint the background, and I use French ultramarine blue, primary yellow, which together in the middle they sort of mix into a nice green. And for a tabletop I'll use raw sienna, a little raw umber and alizarin crimson. So that's really basically most of the colours on my palette. I will also use titanium white to make the colours a little more opaque, because the blue and the yellow are quite transparent colours. Sometimes I use a powder brush to blend my colours, but today I'm just going to use my brush with the white on it, and with a crisscross motion just mix them all in until I get a fairly soft background. Using sap green and little primary yellow, I'm putting on some leaves just where I think they would be. I'm doing this painting a little out of order, but it doesn't really matter because you can change anything you want, especially when you're working with acrylics. You can paint over things, paint things out and start again. They're a wonderful medium to work with. I'm using a liner brush to sketch in my bowl the outer edges, and raw sienna, because it's a nice neutral, and if flecks of it appear in the finished painting it's hardly noticeable. This brush is also called a rigger, and I think that is because it is used by artists who like to paint yachts, tall ships, things that have rigging, I suppose. I'm not sure about that, don't take my word for it. When I'm painting silver, I usually paint it using 4 shades of grey, and whatever colour is in the bowl, the leaves, the blossoms, whatever is in the bowl, will also be reflected in the silver. So it's really an experiment with me. I just paint it until I get it how I like it. But 4 shades of grey will usually do it. The other thing to remember are reflections. I like to think this is a shiny tabletop and it reflects the silver of the bowl. I think reflections add a lot of liveliness to a painting if you can remember to put them in. I'm using alizarin crimson with a little blue in it to give me a sort of purple base for my roses, but I think this might be the wrong colour and I'll have to adjust it as I go along. Well, the dog has stopped barking, but I now have a crowd of crows. I think it's called a murder of crows outside my window, so I can't do anything to control that either. So while that centre is still damp, still wet, I'm using straight titanium white and I'm pulling the petals in from the outer edge in toward the centre, and it will pick up the colour and give me a sort of pink. And I generally sort of do this a couple of times because I find that as the white dries, it dies down a little, so I'm always reinforcing my lightest lights. You only see the tops of some petals, and so I do a sideways stroke for those. I always use a flat to paint roses. I know some people like to use a round, but I feel I get a better rose when I use a flat brush, and I use about a 3/4 inch. I also use a flat brush for leaves, and I pull the leaf in from the outside edge in toward that center vein, and on the shady side, and I've decided that's on the left of the picture, I mix the sap green with French ultramarine blue and sometimes with raw umber to give me a darker shaded green, and I mix with the primary yellow for my highlights. As I said before, the petals and leaves will be reflected in the silver, and remember that you need to put that in the reflection on the table as well. The only difference is you don't need to be quite as precise. You just need to sort of put the colour in. I sometimes use my finger just to smudge it in. You don't have to put a reflection that is sharp, I guess that's the word to use. It just has to be a sort of patch of that same colour in the same place. With acrylics, you can paint over the petals or leaves several times. It really doesn't make a huge difference because of the fact that it is acrylic. and that's very freeing, I find. I do like to paint with water mixable oils because the paint blends on the canvas, and I find that gives me almost what I need straight away. With acrylics, I get the same effect, but sometimes it takes me 2 or 3 goes painting over and over a petal or a leaf. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly, but you don't have to worry too much if you feel you've made a mistake. I guess that's what I'm really saying. I like to have green leaves beneath each rose, and then when I pull in those lower petals, it drags in some of the green and it gives the petal a translucent look, which I feel enhances the look of the rose. I'm mixing French ultramarine blue with sap green to add some shady side to the leaves. That shadow line beneath the vase needs to be there to make the vase sit flat on the table. If you forget to put that in, your vase will look as though it's floating. Pulling the paint around the vase adds to that dimension, and it helps with the feeling of reflection. I decided to make the vase a little wider because I felt it was out of proportion with the flowers. I think really I've finished this painting. I could keep messing around with it for a while. I have to force myself to stop. I'm just adding a few twiggy bits just to add a little more interest to the painting. Well, I enjoyed painting this little picture. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And if so, please remember to give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button to see more of my videos, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.